Yo, Caesar here, and welcome back to round 15 of Indian Racing League Season 5. It's been a long time since I did commentary here, so it's always good to be back. And what a welcome this has been. A wet race, a wet quali rather, and something that we don't get to see too often. So this should be interesting. I'm sure drivers must have practiced quite a lot, and yeah, this weather must have thrown all the strategies out the window. But again, I'm not here by myself. I'm here by a fellow division, not fellow, but a Division 1 driver. I just keep forgetting that I'm not driving anymore full time. But yeah, it's Jin. Hello, Jin. How are you?
I'm good, Caesar. Thank you. So rain today will, I mean, it's probably going to offset a lot of people here because you never know how many hours someone puts into wet weather driving. So I do expect a few spins in qualifying. I'm not sure what the situation with the race is, but if it's a wet race, we should be, this qualifying session becomes all that much more important. So
Yeah, it
let's see
does.
how it goes.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said, not a lot of people put in practice here, practice in the wets rather. A lot of time is spent on the dries and people do sweat it out. But yeah, I mean, this should be interesting. I really don't know what the race weather will be, but if it's the same, then we'll definitely have a race on our hands. Speaking of the race, we have a qualifying ban tonight. Where's that driver? Yeah, sure. There you go. As
Yes.
soon as I said it, he has retired. So Yash will be starting from the back of the grid, who was into the contention for the title up until last weekend. He is not anymore. I believe there are just four drivers mathematically with a chance to win this season. So who do you back to win? First of all, the race and then the season.
I mean, for me, my champion pick is SSN. He's been absolutely consistent. Even in bad races, he somehow manages to claw his way back to the podium. And for this race, well, I mean, I really don't know because it's going to be a shot in the dark, but that's what's interesting about it. So I'm going to go with last week's winner. I'm going to go with Thakur, and I'm going to see if he can actually replicate what he did last week.
Yeah, speaking of SSN, you said that he finds his way up to the podium or good points, good haul of points. Last race, he scored 0. So, yeah, that was a bit of an off day for him. After scoring 4 consecutive podiums on the trot, he scored none. And that really just made this title a bit more interesting. Although Shah, who's second on the driver's table, is 33 points behind. So, I mean, a good result for SSN and not so good for Shah could even wrap up the title here. I mean, all he needs, SSN will be a difference of 52 by the end of this race. So it's a possibility, but yeah, Shah has not DNF'd once this season. So it could very well go into the next week.
I mean, it speaks for Alpine's consistency in the constructors as well. They are the only D2 constructor to have scored points in every race weekend. So no matter how bad they are, they almost always they 100% of the time so far manage to guarantee 1 point at least from the weekend.
Yeah, and that too without a fastest lap. So they're the only constructor, by the way, who has not had a fastest lap in the top 3. So that's one proof there that consistency is the key. Doesn't matter if you don't have to be on the podium every week, just as long as you're consistent. And speaking of that, we're getting pole time as Redstone is facing the wrong way to turn 1. But Swag Boy with the provisional pole, what is that time? 145, 44.6. Yeah, it gets a bit difficult to
So
read.
seems like quite a good time so far. I mean, these drivers probably have a lot of fuel on board. Oh, I just saw someone spin ahead of Swagboy. That is Steve's.
Oh.
But as I was saying, these drivers probably have some fuel on board their cars because the first run with intermediates, it's all about developing the consistency, understanding your braking points, and then in the second run, you can go minimum fuel and just try to get a good lap under you.
Yeah, so one thing I really like about wet quali is you can really, fill up your car by 6-7 laps of fuel. You can do multiple laps on the trot and manage to improve with every lap as they go by. So I don't know how many drivers on the grid right now are running a heavy car, but whatever it is, Swag Boy has set that time, which is 6 tenths quicker. Shah goes, and the only other driver to go to the 44 with a 44.9 with a purple sector 2 and 3 for that matter. So yeah, possible pole for him tonight.
I mean, you can never know if it actually is a purple sector 2 or 3 or not, because this game sometimes glitches where it shows purple sectors for everything, and then you get to know that, oh, you went that fast. So
Yeah, yeah,
it
agree. I
gives you
mean,
false hope. It gives
this
you false hope.
yeah, this game isn't the best when it comes to general running of online things. I mean, just to update our viewers, we were not supposed to have China at all this season. We were supposed to have Jeddah tonight, but due to some bugs on the track and the way the championship is poised, we decided to do away with Jeddah for now, at least for this season. Hopefully, it will be sorted, and we can have it in the calendar in the future seasons. And looks like a really interesting track. I mean, the real life race is there. What do you think so far? We've seen FP1. What do you think of that track?
I mean, it's a pretty interesting track. Yeah, it's 79% of the time you're on full throttle, so that's interesting. But with the way F1 cars are these days and how it is to follow someone, it's gonna be on board with someone in qualifying is going to be so much fun. But in the race, if you're behind someone, it's gonna be really frustrating to keep following them lap after lap.
Yeah, that's true as well. I mean, it is a very fast track, but it's a very flowy track as well. I mean, I do enjoy especially the second sector or the second half of the second sector, if that makes sense. But then again, there are a couple of corners that I feel drivers will really have to have big balls to push their car. I mean, not that they don't do enough, but just to be as close to the wall as possible. Just very similar to how swimming pool chicane in Monaco is. To get a quick time, you have to really just stay as close to the wall as possible. So something similar we can see in Jeddah.
My only concern is that there might be a lot of red flags in the race because of how narrow the circuit is, and if you crash in certain sections, it's gonna bring out it's gonna bring out red flags if it's a major shunt. So I hope it's not a stop-start sort of race. I hope we get one fluid race rather than a race that is stop-start. But
Let's
let's see.
let's hope. I mean, it's like expecting no safety car in Singapore, right? Even in real life or in the virtual world, safety car is mandatory in Singapore. But let's hope Saudi doesn't follow the same suit as Sid Venkatesh. Did he improve or did he just start his lap? I'm sorry, I wasn't. I didn't look at the time. But yeah, Sid. Let's get back to this race. I mean, we've been going on about Saudi for quite some time. But yeah, I mean, pole time is still 44 point. No, it hasn't. It's improved. See, we didn't even notice that.
44.2.
44.2. So that's 4 times quicker than what he had said earlier. So 44.2. Just two other drivers in the 44 so far, but there's a big gap between P2 and P3.
So there's three drivers in the 44s. The top three are all in 44s.
Yeah, but the gap between second and third is a bit more than what Shah would like at the moment. You think these two at the top practice a bit? Well, Thakur is coming on the form. I think he won last race. Was it last race? Yes, it
He
was
won
last
last
race.
week. He won last week with one stopper from soft to hards in France.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. His first actual legitimate, not legitimate, but the win that he got to keep. He did win one other race in the past in this season, but
He crossed the line in first position in Japan. However, a post-race penalty demoted him from that. So
yeah, I'm sure he wasn't happy, but he's showing good pace, so which is always good to see. He has improved quite a bit, at least since the season started. But I think just the consistency that Hakova needs to bring in. He is a good driver, but if you look at his season, it's quite up and down throughout. So maybe this is a time where consistency could kick in. A bit late, but never too late, and it could help in the next season. As Indic Gamer has retired, he crashed at the exit of that long right-hander.
So one Yash retired because of Qualiban, and Teams and Indic Gamer have retired as well. I think Teams retired in the pits. I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, as things stand right now, I feel like it's going to be a shootout between Swagboy and Thakurva. But with Inter's conditions always keep improving, so we might see a high 42 as a pole lap time.
Oh, high 42. Okay, that's 2 seconds quicker you're predicting. So I don't
High
know if
42, 42.9 maybe.
okay, all right. So yeah, so that's second and a half. Sorry, not 2 seconds. Second and a half. But so has someone told you that this session will dry out? Start to dry
Uh,
out. I mean, that's quite a bold
no one,
prediction.
no one. But like that's what makes it a bold prediction because I have no information about it beforehand.
One thing I just wanted to point out that Yash Gosalia has a quali ban, and no one has won the race from P20, and he wanted to do that tonight, but unfortunately for him, there are no 20 drivers. So the best he can do is win from P19 right now, and that has already been done in the past. So maybe just wait for another weekend to achieve that, possibly. But yeah, that won't be possible, Yash, if you're listening.
I mean, he is. He just commented on the YouTube video just now, so I guess he was listening.
Ah, yes. Alright. So yes, there you go. You are not going to have that satisfaction tonight. Right. Anyone else on the hot lap?
I think Shah is on this hot lap and so is Thakur. I think both
Yeah.
of them just started their hot lap.
Yeah, Tanay Singh is in the second sector. In fact, Thakurwa is a couple of cars behind Tanay. So let's stay on board with Tanay. What do you have to say about Tanay? Let's go back. Oh, almost lost it. But let's go back to this season's Britain's train where Tanay was absolutely flying. He was in a rocket ship, to be honest. The start that he got, I think he gained 12 positions on lap 1. He was at the back of the grid and he was P4 by the end of lap 1. If I'm not wrong, just correct me if I am.
I mean,
And
Tane is someone this season, both the Ferraris, in fact, are drivers who have shown incredible one lap pace. It's just that throughout the course of the season, if you notice, both of them have a trend where they cannot maintain it in the races. So, I mean, Tane was mega in the wets, but let's see how it is for him in China.
yeah, I mean, I think the Britain race was great as well, and I remember he was leading the race for majority of the part, and until the last lap, where I think he made contact with one of the Merc, and he
It was
lost.
Yash Kasalia.
Yeah, it was Yash. So yeah, and he ended up spinning. And let's go back to Shah. I think Shah Thakur will be the next one to cross the line, and did he improve? I don't see.
No,
I
he
don't know.
didn't improve on
No
this
one
lap.
improved. Yeah, so both of them failed to improve. Second, there's a Red Bull coming up across the line. That's Anton. Okay, he just managed to improve by position. There's a Merc, so that can be. Oh, that's You Can Beat Me. One of the reserve here. He's down in P12, 146.0. So he has a lot of time to make. Where do you think he will be? I mean, he's someone who's shown good pace in this division. Has he had a win yet? I don't think so.
Yes,
Oh
he
yeah,
did
yeah, he
win in
had.
Sylvester. He
He
won in
has.
Sylvester in the first race that they reserved.
Yes, and did he win it on track? Let's just get that out
Oh,
of the
he
way.
did. He
Oh
did.
man, when is Mala going to win on track? Both his win has come by not winning on track, and with the poor face penalties. So maybe tonight.
I mean, he makes history in his own way. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive, right? I mean, you win twice in the league, and both the times you don't have to cross the finish line in P1. So, yeah, luck is definitely favoring. But he's down in P12. Let's see what his sector time is. He's up 6 tenths, so that will put him 45.4. That's P7 right now. So definitely he can improve there, but to go on the pole, he needs to further improve by over a second. So might be possible, could be a push, but yeah, but you never know how that will go. But
while you were talking about You Can Beat Me, Shah just improved his lap by 3 tenths, and Thakur also improved to 240. So he's just less than half a tenth behind Swagboy right now. But Swagboy will start his set of laps now. He's on his out lap. So it's either he's gonna improve or Thakur has to eke out something special right now to get pole.
yep, as
Oh,
Mala
You
crosses
Can
the
Beat Me just
line,
went to P4. He just went to P4. That's how
40,
fast he is.
44.9, and Ace has it. Oh, he crashed. He crashed at the hairpin in at the where famously Malov crashed in a couple of seasons back. That costed his teammate a win. So Yeah, Ace paying tribute to Malav. And interestingly, Malav did not DNF. In fact, he DNF'd Redstone, who he was battling. So, poor Redstone. And speaking of Redstone, I mean, yeah, we were talking about Ferrari. Where is Redstone? In P3 or improved
Redstone
to
just went
P3?
P3. That was
Yeah,
a good lap by Redstone.
that was a pretty good lap, yeah. But P3 and P4 are still 4/10 away, so it's quite a good pair there. P1 and 2 quite close together, and 3 and 4 quite close together. But yeah, speaking of Redstone, I think he's lost around 50 points. He crashed out at Austria, if I remember, and the same he did at Monza, where he, I think, put his car on the pole and he just DNF'd during the race after showing impressive pace at the start of the races, both the races. So yeah, Ferrari losing major points throughout this season, but has Redstone scored any podium? I think he scored a podium last race. Last race podium was pretty interesting. Thakurova, Gagan, and Redstone all first time, except Redstone, at least first time podium sitters in this season.
Speaking of Thakur, he's just entered the pits, so I think that's it for qualifying because he won't be able to set an outlap unless he cuts the track. So it's pretty much done for his qualifying run. Shah is on his final hot lap, I think.
Yeah,
unless he overfueled his car.
Sid has just started his lap. I think there's a Merc driver. You can beat me. Has started his final lap. There's an Alpine coming. That's not Gagan. Where is that?
Manan.
That's Manan. Yeah, there he is, Manan. So I think Manan will be starting his lap. Let's see if he goes left. Yeah, he goes left. So he'll be starting. There's a Haas coming. Is that Abdul Samad? Yeah, there's a Abdul Samad will be starting his lap. Next lap soon. He is down in P16 with a 47.0 and he loses the back end and caught in 4K. Get wrecked. And I think his tires are done for. Oh, he just comes across.
I don't know if. Oh, he spun again.
What is he doing?
I think the tires are too hot and
yeah, his tires are too hot.
He may not be that used to driving F1 cars on this game.
Yeah. And I think Anton is on his hot lap. Who's about to end their lap? I'm just looking for.
Swagboy is just finishing his lap now.
Swagboy.
Oh, it's a 44.2, so he doesn't improve.
Doesn't improve. Shah crosses the line. He improves, but just a bit. Who else? There is a Haas.
You can beat me is on the lap. You can beat me is on the straight right now, on the back straight.
Yep. Gagan Singh is about to cross the line next, so let's stay on board. Let's see what he does. He is down in P7 with a 45.1. He goes P2, 1,000th of a second. How close is that? Gagan Singh fans are going to rise and they must be cheering.
Gagan fans rise.
Where are Gagan Singh fans?
Suraj goes P5.
Suraj goes.
Impressive.
Yeah, Malav about to cross the finish line. Where can he improve from P8? He goes P4, so second row on the grid. Who's next? So Ferrari is in the pit, so that's his qualifying done. There is an Alpine of Manan coming down. He's 600 down though on his best lap time.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time on that hairpin and
he spun. So caught in 4K part 2. There's a Ferrari of Tanay Singh approaching. His car will be the next to cross. So quite an impressive lap from Gagan Singh. Look at how close they are, 1,000th of a second. And look, even Thakurva for that matter, he's not too far, just 300, under 300 of a second behind. Those two, as Tanay has lost his back into the same corner. What's going on? All the drivers just trying to gain all those extra lap times. They're just bottling it.
Interestingly, Manan and Tanay tried the same approach to the hairpin, where they tried a very wide approach as opposed to taking the apex of that corner.
Yeah, interestingly, and we've seen three drivers just losing the back end. Vintage has managed to go up to P9. Tanay Singh crosses the line, but he won't improve obviously, and I think that's our qualifying done.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, a good qualifying for Shah because Shah is 5th and his title rival is in 10th place. So, as far as qualifying goes, I mean, that's a good qualifying session for him. And I've just gotten information on the comment section that it's going to be wet race weather.
Oh, that's interesting. But speaking of the positions, Shah I mean, there are 4 drivers mathematically who can win. Easy level is not here tonight. But before I proceed, let me just quickly run down the order. It's Swag Boy with the pole by 1,000 of a second from Gagan Singh. Where are the Gagan Singh fans? Gagan Singh in P2, Thakurova in P3, continuing the form that he showed in the previous race. Malav in P4, Shah in P5, Suraj in P6, Redstone, Bullister, Vintage, SSN, Sid Venkatesh, Manan, Indy Gamer, Tanay Anton, Abdul Samad, Teves, Ace failed to put in a lap time, and Yash with the qualifying ban down in P19. As I was saying, four drivers with a mathematically a chance to win the title. Easy level is not here. Sid Venkatesh and SSN both in P11 and P10 respectively. So Shah has a real chance of closing down that gap, and SSN with him being in P10, and Yash Gosali has left the session.
I'm not sure what happened there.
I just so can you possible for you?
I'm gonna try sending him an invite. It looks dry though, the race. So where we lied to? Did the comment section lie to us? So the game won't let me invite Yash for some reason. Okay, so the game won't let me invite Yash Gosalia for some reason. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so that's that. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with Caesar's audio right now, but I'm just gonna walk you through the grid right now as it stands.
Am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Oh, what? Okay, yeah. I really don't know. I think the connection must have gone. Anyways, yes, go on.
From the tire choice, we can see that Sid and Indek have gone for a aggressive approach. They're both on softs. Otherwise, it's more of an even split between the medium runners and those who start on hard tires. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, I really think Sid and Indic they forgot to change, or they forgot to confirm their strategy. I don't think, and I'm sure they know that soft isn't the way to win, especially if you're starting off at the top 10. So yeah, looks, or maybe the rain is coming too early in the race, and they think that's going on soft and gaining a few positions off the line could help them, in the wet race.
I mean, theoretically, if you're good enough at conserving your tires, you could use the softs for 11 laps, but that is everyone uses tires differently, so it should be interesting to see both the soft runners and how much progress they can make. They should get good starts though, but T1 and T2, especially at China, can be a bit of a carnage zone at the start. So we're gonna see who comes out the cleanest amongst all these.
Quickly, top three.
Yeah, what's his name? Thakurova P1, Thakurova P1, SSN P2, and Malav P3.
Wow, SSN on the podium, right? I really think Thakurova will take this. So I want to say Swag Boy, but his consistency he hasn't shown yet. So I think Thakurova, Gagan, and Malav. That's like top of my head. Right, let's wait for the 5 lights to come out. Hopefully,
Start is all yours.
All right, let's wait. Oh, the lights are off finally. Let's wait and see how this race goes. The lights are off and we're away, and Swegbai seems to have got a good start, and so does Thakur. Thakur almost side by side, and with the inside line into turn one, Gagan Singh is able to. We've seen a couple of cars going off the track. I think one of the Ferraris. That's Redstone
It's all
Derp.
from the. I don't know if it's on your screen or not, but from my screen, I just noticed a few droplets of rain on turn one.
I did not notice that, and I do not see that on the chassis as well. And Malav has lost a position to Shah. So Shah already up a position. A couple of position up is the Alpha. There's how many people are watching this? Blocking my screen. Bullista is up a couple of positions. I'm sorry. Sid Venkatesh on the softs, gaining 3 positions. And Ace gaining 4. So Ace and Sid really gaining positions here. And I think Sid will be looking to go even further ahead. And he knows, I'm sure, that soft won't last too long. So he'll be looking to gain at least 2 positions by the end of next lap.
He has to make the best of what he has right now. With the softs on board, he cannot lose positions. So he has to be as aggressive as possible, deploy a little bit more battery, and like just try staying ahead from that point onwards. He's on the absolute back of Suraj of 7 right now. Oh, someone just went.
That's Bullister. That's Bullister. I think he just went on the curb. I was on board with Sid Venkatesh, saw the Alfa Romeo flying in quite a dramatic fashion, and he's just dropped down to P18. So not a good sight for the Alfa Romeo driver.
So far, Sid couldn't get the move done on the back straight, so I think 7 might be running a little bit low wings. That helps him defend on the straights better. But over the course of this lap, I think the tire advantage should come into play. Meanwhile, Vintage and Manan have pit, so definitely something happened there between both of them.
Yeah, and I think they both started on the medium tires, if I'm not wrong. Manan was on hard, so so that strategy is out of the window for Manan. Meanwhile, top 3 have managed to pull away from the rest of the field. Shah is just 1 second, now he's under 1 second. So Shah is slowly reeling all of them in. Malav dropping down a bit. He is almost a second and a half behind Shah. But yeah, I mean, you can still see Sid. He's trying to push, but he's not closing down the gap as much as he would have liked. As Yash Gosali has managed to join, hopefully he's able to take control. But yeah, so far, I think Sid, even though he has gained a few positions, he will be looking to gain a few more.
He's still stuck behind 7 right now, so he's struggling to get close by to 7. I think the aim for Sid should be to remain in DRS and then try overtaking Suraj as fast as possible.
Yeah, you can visually notice on that long right-hander that the dirty air is playing its part, and you can see now he's going for the move, and he has to go for the move. Suraj, I think he'll play it smart and not fight it too much. I'm sure he is aware that softs will not last for too long, and maybe by this same place on the next lap.
He got a much better exit than Sid though. Almost made contact with his rear end.
Yeah, but I think
all stays clean for now.
Yeah, I think Suraj will overtake him on the next lap.
Shah has caught up to Thakur, and Thakur doesn't have DRS on anyone so far. So this lap on the back straight, if Shah maintains it, he could get a move done.
I think he won't be able to make a move up until the back straight. And the other McLaren P1 is pulling away, and the other McLaren of SSN is right on Suraj's tail. And so far SSN has managed to gain 2 positions. And I think the pace that he has, he will be able to pick a few more drivers as the race goes.
I mean, if it's interchangeable weather, as it looks quite overcast. If it's interchangeable weather, every strategy could go out of the window soon enough. So let's say China, by that, is a very interesting race because, and it's also one of the reasons why I don't like racing outside the Middle East, because you always have to have 2 setups ready, as opposed to just the one that you'd have for a Middle Eastern race, because it never rains in those regions, at least in the game.
I mean, the last time we had a wet race in the Middle East, Suraj invalidated his hot lap. Shots fired.
I mean, those are historic league racing moments.
Yes, right at the top of the pile of archive. But anyways, Sid has
overtaken Malav.
Yeah,
and can he go? He just braked a little too deep. That should allow Malav to get back at Sid, but he's not close enough. So now Malav should have DRS from the looks of it. Or will Sid be the one who gets DRS? It's Malav who has DRS on Sid. So heading into turn 1, will Malav try a move?
I don't think he's close enough. But
Six
something
behind.
something we must have missed in last lap because Sid was right with Suraj, and Suraj has gone now down. He's battling SSN, but he's lost a couple of positions.
I think
So
Suraj drives without racing line and he didn't get enough practice in, so he may be struggling to figure out where braking points are at, because when you have other cars around you, your braking points do slightly change.
that's true.
So
That's true.
maybe that's what is the reason behind his lack of pace right now.
Yeah, and speaking of lack of pace, you can already see all the soft runners struggling now. Sid Venkatesh not closing as quickly. I mean, he is closing down the gap as of now, but not as quickly as he would have hoped. And this is lap 4, and I'm sure by the end of like this lap, his tires will be done. And who's this Mercedes Malav, who's right behind him? He's not close enough. He's over a second, so out of the DRS window. So either Malav is struggling or Sid Venkatesh is really pushing to protect his position.
Gagan seems to have fallen back a lot because Thakurva has now caught up to Gagan and they are in DRS range. So second, third, and fourth all in DRS. It might become a DRS train because of this. So let's see. Gagan seems to be dropping back as far as pace is concerned. I think if I'm Swag Boy right now, considering the gap I have, I might go a little easier on these tires so that even if the rain comes, I don't have to pit till then.
Yeah, no idea when the rain is going to come. It's overcast since the race started. It's 5 laps, but no sign of rain yet. Should be interesting whenever it comes. As is yellow in
DNF.
Oh, Ace as DNF. Will safety car? It is a safety car. So well, this neutralizes everything. A perfect opportunity for all the soft runners to pit and possibly go on the hards from all. Hards will definitely make it all the way from here. All the medium runners, which there are plenty, they will. It's not a good time for a safety car for them, is it?
No, not really. But this is the gamble that you picked when you pick an alternate compound. So I guess it's you have to live and die with it. So nothing they can do right now. But this just hurts Swag Boy because he was leading comfortably by 1.72 seconds and now it's been neutralized. So we're going to see. One of the Red Bulls has pitted, and that would be Anton Hypers.
And yeah, it's even quite early for all the hard runners because they have no. I mean, if they decide to pit, they have no choice but to go on, medium or soft, whatever they like. But yeah, not a good time for either of the compound runners except the soft one. So I think Sid Indic will be quite pleased and will be thanking Ace, their fellow soft runner, to cause this safety car. And I think they should really pit. I mean, yes, they will end up losing positions, but at least they won't have to pit anymore if the race.
It's essentially Gagan has retired from session. I don't know what happened.
Oh, he crashed. He crashed on a straight.
I think he may have been weaving and he lost the car on the straight.
I really want to see how he crashed. It's not even like at the exit of that turn. It's right in the center of the straight.
I mean, go on Discord, tag him and ask him for his footage right
There's
now.
a Gagan Singh fan in the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rudranshu. I just opened the chat and I saw Rudranshu's message cheering him on and he just crashed on the straight. I'm afraid that's it for Gagan. And yeah, his fans won't be happy seeing his name in the DNF tonight.
For the hard tire runners, now getting temperature into these tires is of utmost necessity because you can be caught out on the safety car restart a lot of times. But Anton Hyper's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the SC.
Well, that's not good for Anton, and you cannot serve the drive-through under safety car conditions. So he's already last, but his race is going from bad to worse at the moment. He will be quite a way back once the safety car comes in. And the medium tire runners didn't decide to pit. So maybe there are two scenarios. Maybe they're expecting another safety car, or maybe there is a rain definitely coming and they're just holding it out. None of the hard runners have pitted as well. So interesting.
I mean, if you take care of your tires properly, you could try doing 22 laps on the mediums, but it is quite a task to try to finish that many laps.
Yeah, that will be a stretch, but the thing is, soft tires just die out. I mean, they are pretty good for initial 2 or 3 laps, but they just fall off instantly. It's like someone just pushed them off the cliff, and they just lose all their grip. So yeah, but then again, with a lighter fuel, maybe medium to soft is a possibility. But I think that's you really have to take care of your medium tires to have any possibility of doing that. But then again, safety car is out. You never know. These 3 laps behind the safety car could really help all these medium runners out. But then again, let's hope for a wet race. I mean, honestly, I would prefer changing conditions from dry to wets. It really throws the strategy out of the window and mixes up the result, which is always good to see. But as of now, let me just remind you, Shah in P3, SSN in P5. So he's almost right behind him is SSN. And yeah, I think SSN will be pretty pleased with this safety car.
Once again, SSN making up a lot of positions. So he's already like made up half for his poor qualifying. He was in 10th and now he's 5th. So
yeah, that's not bad. I mean, considering he's leading the championship, and he would want to score as many points as possible to place or maybe have a firm grip on the driver's title. And P5 right now, he's not losing a lot. He's I think even if he finishes like this, which I'm pretty sure he won't hope for it, but even if he finishes like this, he won't be too disappointed with the result. But it's just 25% of the race is over. It's still a lot of racing to go.
Racing Gupta has done the maths for us. He said that 3.4% tire were to take the mediums until the end.
3.4, that's quite specific. Okay, I really don't know how you did that. Maybe you went to the career mode and did some tire acclimatization program. But yeah, I mean, running by yourself and managing your tires is one thing. But if you're battling with people around you, you really have to push to stay in the front. Plus the dirty air and the understeer that you get, that really comes into those are the factors that you have to take into account. So. That's why I mean, personally, I really don't still, even behind the safety car, I really don't think medium to soft is a possibility. I mean, drivers have to be really brave to, attempt that. Not that it's not possible, it can be done, but you lose a lot of time and you might end up losing positions as a result.
But right now, it's 75/22. Oh, Gupta is explaining his maths right now on the chat.
Oh.
So it's an approx. It's not a complete figure. He just said it's an approx.
Okay. Let's see. I mean, let's see how let's go. Safety car is still not in. I didn't see the message. Drivers are still behind, so we'll have one more lap of the safety car, and I'm sure medium runners won't complain as long as the safety car stays out. Yash Gosalia, meanwhile, starting P19, has managed to come up to P9. Fun fact, stat-wise, only 2 drivers have managed to win the race after starting from outside the top 10s. One is Suraj and the other is, of course, me. So maybe Yash can add his name to it. Maybe someone else can, because there are other drivers who started outside the top 10 and they are within the top 10 right now.
I mean, if we get the rain period without any safety car, then obviously the running order is going to change by a lot. Because when do you take the gamble becomes the biggest question then.
That's true, so, and undercut is quite strong as well.
The undercut, yes, the undercut is quite strong, especially on this game. It's like you could be driving wets and not losing that much time, and then suddenly it's like interconditions. It's like Russia in real life. What happened with Lando Norris? So, I mean, yep. I'm not jinxing it, but a McLaren is in the lead right now. So,
Mercedes in P4, not far behind. So,
and then Alpine is there in the mix as well. So,
yeah. Okay, fine.
Top 3 right now. I mean, this is just a fun thing, but top 3 right now, all different engine manufacturers. So,
Yep, Mercedes.
And safety car is in this lap. I'm interested to see what Swagboy does. Does he continue trailing the safety car? Does he slow down, let the safety car into the pit so he can decide when to go? I mean, there have been situations with the safety car where people have decided to follow it all the way to the end, and it's not ended well
Yeah,
for some drivers.
so Swagboy is not doing that because he is letting the safety car go. The field is bunched up behind. Good to see everyone is in a single file right now. Not really sure how it will be after the hairpin. Yep.
I think till the hairpin it will be quite clean. It's after the hairpin what happens. So turn 1, turn 2 might be a chaos zone again.
All right, take away the safety car restart.
Safety car just entering the pits right now. It's taken the left for the pits. So Swagboy is probably going to take this last corner. He's already started off. That's a good safety car restart by Swagboy. Keeps the car well planted. And already a 1.1 second lead, as you can see. I think Thakur got caught out with the safety car because Shah is quite close to him now.
Yeah.
Neither made ground nor did he lose ground on You Can Beat Me. So top 5 with a good safety car restart, I'd say, aside from Thakur, who did lose some time under the safety car restart.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone lost positions, did they? I think everyone.
Positions didn't change.
Positions didn't change. Yeah, everyone kept where they started. So pretty clean restart. That is always good to see. So all the remaining 17 drivers are there, but Anton didn't manage to get a good restart. I think he was.
Steve's just lost 4 positions. He was 12th, now he's 16th. So I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh, maybe he just lost the back end. Maybe he just went into the back of someone. I don't know, but. Anton didn't manage to get a good start, but Swagboy, speaking of starts, 1.5 seconds in front of Thakurova. So he's really pushing and trying to make up as much gap as possible as Yash and Abdul Samad are fighting.
He tried, I think Yash momentarily got ahead of him, but Samad got the
Redstone with that dive. He just caught it, and I think he missed his braking point, and he just. I think went into, I don't know who, but he just went into another driver and...
Teams was very opportunistic right there. He took, Vintage player and had to go slightly wide because of it, and Teams just dived him on the inside.
And there's a battling going on. Sid Venkatesh trying to brake late and trying to switch back. Abdul Samad doing the same what he did in qualifying, and he decided on track. Abdul Samad caught in 4K yet again. What's going on?
So many people are being caught in 4K today. It just seems like one of those tracks right now.
Yeah, a lot of spins and so 3 people's in the pits. Red Bull gonna double stack.
Come out with the stat about how most people caught in 4K in a single race.
I would really need to watch every single stream this season. What's our time in the year? But yeah, I mean. Top 3. Let's speak of top 3 right now. So Swagboy is definitely bolted off. He's 1.7 in the lead. Shah managing to keep behind Thakurova, but the gap is pretty much staying the same. They're around 7 tenths, 8 tenths, just fluctuating here and there. And it's the same with Malav and SSN. So SSN is in a pretty good position right now. He has in fact gained 5 positions, and he is in net P5 as we speak. So. A lot of people who were on the softs, like Sid and I think Indie Gamer, they were on the softs, and not a good place for them to be in. I think that's where the soft tires really were at a disadvantage, and Indie Gamer right on tail of Sid. Is he going? He is using his overtake, and Sid isn't. And it should be an easy move.
I mean, Indie Gamer has a tire advantage as well. He is on mediums, Sid pit on hards. So I don't think there's any use to Sid fighting him right now. If Indic Gamer can, lead Sid up the grid, then so be it.
Yeah, I think the smart thing here would be as Yash Gosali overtakes Tanay, and Tanay's crashed. Oh wait, did he crash at that left-hander? There's a VSC.
Yes, he did.
Abdul Samad is going in the pits. No, Tanay Singh crashed in the pits. What?
Yeah, I think he carried too much pace because this pit entry can be tricky. Lewis Hamilton
I'll say he's that Hamilton. He's gone straight into the gravel and in the hole. As a safety car. It's a full safety car. So Abdul Samad will be happy.
If I'm a medium tire runner, I would take the gamble and pit on the hards right now because you'd easily finish the race with hards.
Yep. I agree. I agree. I think medium runners have to go in. I think people who are now definitely caught out are the one on the hard. So people like Yash Gosalia, uh,
Steve Scal.
yeah, Sid Venkatesh, all these guys.
No, but Sid Venkatesh
But
is
Sid has
already pit,
pitted. Yeah, Sid has pitted
so for
already.
him it
So
doesn't make a difference.
yes, so I think Sid is in net P1, we can say, as of now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if
yeah, he is in
everyone
net
pits,
P1.
because
He is
Indic
in net
Gamer
P1.
definitely has to pit. He cannot take that all the way to the end. So Sid Venkatesh, who is in a mathematically shout to win the title, he's pretty pleased with it if he's concentrating on that stat. But yeah, I mean, like you said, medium runners, perfect opportunity. Lap 12, I think, is what they would usually do. But it's almost at the end of lap 11, and the safety guy's a perfect opportunity for them to pit in and just get over with this stint and just take it all the way.
I mean, let's see if Swagboy actually goes into the pits, and
Yep.
he does. He dives into the pits. So does Thakur. No,
No,
Thakur doesn't. Thakur
no,
and
he
Shah stay
doesn't.
out. This
Thakur
is
Vishal.
interesting now. My Thakur and Shah.
Malav stayed out as well, so none of the medium runners are pitted except
SSL
Swag
pit,
Boy.
but it's gonna be a double stack for McLaren. Then,
McLaren
because
double stack, okay. Definitely they are not in the party chat, or maybe they are in the party chat and they expect to not be held up. Where is this one? I want to see him.
oh, it's not held up. It's the perfect. It's the perfect double stack.
No, just a bit, just a bit. I think the
A
pit
second
crew,
maybe, but
yeah,
a
maybe
second.
pit crew hesitated for a bit. But anyways, both McLarens out, swapping their tires for the hard, which I think is a right move until weather is going to throw a surprise at us. But top four medium runners did not decide to pit. What do you think?
I mean, I think they're gambling on another safety car coming out, but it can't come out immediately. Otherwise, they'll lose all the positions. So they have to make up some gap, and then hope that I don't know 7, 8 laps from now the safety car comes out, so you can try ending the race on softs. Then
This is even if you look at the tire life right now. Top 5 on 11 laps, all mediums, and one Yash on hards. Then the middle there is 5 laps, there's 9 laps, then there's fresh tires for both McLarens. So it's quite a mixed field right now. So really difficult to tell what net positions each driver is in. But yeah, I mean, considering if the safety car doesn't come out, I think Sid Venkatesh and both the McLarens really look in a pretty solid position, and so does Redstone Dop. But you never know. We've already had 2 safety cars in 12 laps, so technically we've had just 8 laps of racing so far.
Interestingly, Swagboy came out behind Manan, and I do know for a fact that Shah and Manan are in the same party chat. So is Shah gonna ask Manan to defend like a lion?
Well spotted, and I mean, yeah, Manan has to be the Ocon for Shah, and really defend it, not just give up the position on the straight. But one thing working for Manan will be that he has the drivers in front of him, so if there's a DRS strain, he's right in the mix. So yeah, maybe he can defend like a lion. So far, penalty-wise, Redstone is the only one with the penalty. Is that a 5 or 3? It's a 3 seconds. It's a corner cut penalty for Redstone. So keeping it clean so far, all the drivers, which is definitely good to see. And what is definitely good to see is I think one driver crashed at the final corner, or did no one crash there? How did Ace crash? Oh, that was at the hairpin, I think.
That was at the hairpin.
Gagan Singh
one driver
crashed on the straight. Yeah, Tanay Singh crashed in the pit.
One Singh crashed in the pit lane.
So none of the drivers have crashed on the exit of final corner, which is good to
I
see.
think in all this while, Yash Gosalia has come up to P5.
But he has to pit.
But he's on hard tires as well. So if these safety cars keep coming out, if anyone can do a hard to soft right now, go on to the soft tires to finish the race right now, it's realistically Yash. Because the tire wear, I mean, it's essentially tire conservation for him with the way the safety cars are coming out. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
For that to happen, so Yash have to hope that the safety car doesn't come out by lap 23, 24 for his sake.
For his sake,
maybe 22.
I mean, if he's gonna go from hards to soft, it's probably gonna be lap 21 or 22.
So 6 laps, you're saying? Okay. I mean, for me, 7 laps is too much, even on a lighter car. But you never know. I mean, it could happen. Safety car in this lap.
they all have fresh softs. None of them have used any pairs of softs. So ideally, you could push it for 2-3 laps and then conserve from there. So all the time has to be made up in the first 3 laps on soft tires.
Interesting. So then again, a mix of strategies to play at. Drivers are all jumbled up right now. No one is at their correct positions, judging by how they've pitted and not pitted. So interesting race ahead. Safety car is going in. Takova will be leading the pack this time. Let's go on board with him and see how he is doing it. He's not slowing too much, not letting the safety car go through too much in the front. So maybe he's one of the drivers. Yeah, maybe he's the drivers which likes to keep it close. So
if it's like this, then he's most likely going to drag it to the line.
Maybe. I'll let you take away the restart once again.
Alright, so I'm on board with Thakur. I can see from his POV that the safety car has just taken the left. I don't know if it's entered. Oh yeah, he's taking it all the way to the line. Starts on the start finish straight. Now, it's not the best of safety car restarts because Shah could predict that was where it was going to happen. Meanwhile, Suraj trying a move on You Can Beat Me and he can't make it stick right now. But all in all, no carnage so far. Everyone's kept their positions.
Yeah, that's good to see. Yeah.
It's always Redstone gets another 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's always good to see a clean safety car restart. And You Can Beat Me has got Suraj has caught up to You Can Beat Me. Is he going to try to make a move? No, not there. And Yash has entered the fight as well. So it's a fight for P3 going on right now.
No, Suraj has gone. He lost on the traction. I was just watching Suraj and I was about to say that if you want to have sandwich, a Mercedes sandwich is right on the plate. And yeah, he just went on the throttle, got too much trigger happy, and yeah, into the wall he goes. And yeah, happy place for Yash. He gains a position free of charge.
I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think You Can Beat Me and Yash Gosale are in the same party chat. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be team orders now for You Can Beat Me to let Yash go through.
I really don't think that's going to happen, because if you look at the tire choices, Malav is on the mediums and he's on the hard. So I think Malav might have some advantage because we have spent around 5 to 6 laps behind the safety car. So what Yash would need or would have told him to just push and get him within the DRS of Shah in the front. And once that's done, almost get a tank slapper. So once that's done, I think that's when the Mercedes drivers will decide to swap around. And I'm sure Yash, even though he's not in the title fight, he would want that constructors, for which I think Mercedes is very much in the fight.
I think right now the most interesting driver to watch is Sid Venkatesh. I just have the detail where it shows me the gap to the leader and is 5.4 seconds behind. So should no safety car come out and should he be able to maintain this gap, then it's gonna take some catching after the first 5 people. No, first 5 people pit for their safety cars. So right now Sid Venkatesh is in net P1. Because Indic Gamer might have to pit again because he pit for medium. So it's going to be an interesting race to watch from Sid's perspective right now.
Yeah, and if you look at the minimap, our pole sitter is in the pit, so not the best of the safety car restart. He was leading the race at one point, and now he's almost at the last place. There's a battle for P12 rather, or P11 again, sorry. Vintage player just, oh, there's someone spun. Who's that? Indic Gamer. The Alpha Tauri is facing the wrong way. I really don't know what happened as I was on Teeves. But yeah, a pretty good battle between Teeves and Vintage when Cyber sat for a few corners before Vintage just made the mistake.
I mean, Teeves versus Vintage is a battle of camera ideology. It's cockpit cam versus chase cam right there.
Yeah, I mean, two extremes where you don't find a lot of casual F1 players drive, or even eSport drivers for that matter. Yeah, quite interesting. Will be interesting to see their POVs from,
Yash
perspective.
Gosale nearly ran into the back of You Can Beat Me there, exiting the hairpin.
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
definitely
sure what happened there.
No team orders there as DRS is enabled, and we could see Yash maybe push for the
Shah
overtake.
would need to use some battery right now to just get into the DRS zone of Thakur, because not having DRS here can be a huge time loss for yourself. But Thakur just doing a very good job in the lead right now. Oh, I think he's made a small mistake. Did he? It just said that he lost 3 tenths in one corner. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, DRS wise, both look very even, judging by the view on their steering wheel. Both look very much even, but the gap is staying even as well. 9 tenths for the last 3 corners. He's still ninth,
Yeah.
just above second now. But yeah, I mean, pace-wise, both look very much even or at par. Back at the field, Redstone is facing the wrong way. A lot of drivers now crashing after.
I think. Oh, he does have an end plate missing as well. I think it could be the fact that if you China is one of those tracks which is very setup sensitive. So if you're running a time trial setup, it's very the car moves around a lot. So it could be that Redstone is running a pure time trial setup.
Could be. I mean, second sector will obviously eat you alive if you run time trial setup. So you have to be really careful. But yeah, and coming back to the battle for the podium, P3 between the Merc drivers. Yash not close enough to Malav, and Malav not looking in the mood to give up that P3. So interesting race ahead. Maybe he's just trying to pull his teammate closer to Yash, but again, Malav is not closing down to Shah as well.
It's gonna be interesting to see what the medium runners, that is the top three, do, because for Yash Kosalia, no matter what tire he puts on, it's gonna be the faster tire for him. For the top three, it's a very interesting decision right now.
Oh, Yash, Vintage. Sorry to cut you off, but Vintage side by side with the Alpine driver, so that defense was definitely not like a lion. He was, I mean, he gave him all the space, respect to him, but it wasn't enough. But Manan, will he?
Redstone Turf has retired from session.
Okay, he's in the pits.
In the pits, he retired in the pits. That's a
So
good thing.
no safety car. But yeah, Manan losing positions. What tire is he on? He is on the mediums, old mediums, 14 laps old, Vintage on 6 lap old hard. Suraj setting the fast lap.
Went on to the softs.
Yeah, yeah. I think he for himself, I think he wants another safety car to bring him back to the game. So far, I really don't see him pulling anything.
Yeah, from here, 3 laps later, if he gets a safety car, he could pit for softs again and still be with the group. But he has to conserve these tires to go 3 laps at least.
Yeah, Malav meanwhile trying to defend. He moved off the racing line, came back on it. But I think this is a move that's done and dusted. I think, Malav knows that's a good move. Yeah, I think teamwork right there. Maybe they got a message from Toto to let Yash through and maybe see if Yash can pull Malav towards Shah. So top four, none of them have pitted so far. Sid Venkatesh is 3.5 seconds behind Malav and 7.8 seconds behind the leader. So he's definitely looking very, very solid to win the race.
Here's the main thing. Behind Sid is SSN, who's pit also. So essentially, if SSN gets this move done, then it's net P1 for him.
Yeah, like you said, he manages to get on the podium. He can manage to get a win for himself, starting from P10. So this is quite interesting. SSN is almost 9 seconds, 8.5 seconds now, 8.5 seconds behind the leader Thakurva.
I think Shah's tires have fallen because he's lost 2-3 tenths, small 2-3 tenths in this lap behind Thakurva. So I think Shah's tires are, because Shah has always told us whenever in the past I've done race engineering for him, he's told us that his tire wear isn't the best on this game. So maybe he's using up his tires more than Thakurva is right now.
Probably. I mean, okay, now let's get to strategy here. So 17 laps these medium runners in top 4 have done. You really think they're going for the soft strategy? Maybe push these tires?
That seems like the most likely strategy right now, because Yash Kosalia, I definitely know for a fact that he's going hard to soft. Unless he decides to pull a surprise on us, it's a hard to soft. The medium runners got so many laps under the safety cars that for them, medium to soft became a reality. Otherwise, it would be a medium to hard.
Okay, as Indie Gamer makes a move on T-Scal, pretty easy move, and makes it stick.
SSN gets the move done on Sid Venkatesh, so now SSN is essentially net P1 with this.
Interesting, so not a happy sight for Shah there, who I'm sure was pretty pleased looking at the quality result, but SSN really on the charge. He is, under 10 seconds? 8.5 seconds behind the race leaders. So he could essentially, obviously he will go all the way to the end, but once Thakurva and Shah pits, I really want to see what comparison between the soft and the hards. I know it's quite a lot, but comparing against the fresh softs versus and the old used hards, I think the gap is going to be massive, and we could have quite a close finish.
Let's not forget the most important thing here. The pit delta is quite significant in China because of the way the pit lane is. So they have to. I mean, if Thakurva pits right now, with the way gaps are going, he'll either come out behind Teeves or just in front of Teeves.
Yep,
So that is
that's
something
true.
to watch as well. So there's a lot of positions he'll have to battle for, and then he'll have to keep the tires going as well.
How many drivers do you see? I mean, or do you think are going to pit from here? Top 4 definitely they're going to pit.
Top 4 definitely have to pit, unless of course they're hoping that it starts raining all of a sudden and then everything is negated for them.
Yeah. Who else?
SSN and Sid are definitely not pitting. I think. Oh yeah, Teeves is yet to make a stop, so Teeves has to pit. So he's the only one. Teeves, Abdul Samad, and probably Manan and Indic Gamer also would have to pit as well. So
See again, if the leaders pit, they have other drivers who will be pitting as well. So, I mean, they would have to again overtake a few drivers, but not as much as they would want. They wouldn't like. But I'm sorry, I cannot speak. But there's a battle for P11 going on. Abdul Samad really trying hard to overtake, but Teeves is defending very aggressively, but all fair. But I don't think it's going to work anymore as Abdul Samad sends it down the inside into turn 4. I believe that's turn 4 or 5, and that's a good clean move. That was a pretty good battle, to be honest.
One of the most important things is that on this track, no ABS can be pretty tricky, and Teeves does drive without ABS. So I think once the tire wear comes into play, braking can be quite tricky on China, especially like considering that there are hard braking zones and then there are some where you can just post your car through. So,
well, I hear a yawn. Did you just yawn?
No, I didn't yawn. Yawn.
Okay. I thought you yawned. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, you said that Teeves is without the ABS.
Shah has just gone into the pits.
He's going for the undercut. So if Thakurva decides to pit, Thakurva should come up right behind him, or it will be very close. The undercut is around a second, 1.5 seconds. I think that was the gap when Shah decided to pit. Malav has still carried on, and so has Yash. So interesting. I mean, top 3 they have to pit for sure, but where will they come out? SSN and Sid, like you said, they won't be pitting.
Shah just came out in P10, and the gap between him and SSN right now is 16 seconds, give or take.
Yep, that's true. So 16 seconds, over 2 seconds a lap. Shah has to gain.
I mean, it is possible, but the softs do also burn out really fast. So this is the ultimate gamble that Shah has pulled through. Will he have tires left by the time he catches up to SSN?
This lap, I think he will close down by around 2.5 seconds. Next lap will be around 2.5 seconds. But it's after that, from the third lap, where we'll see a drop in the performance. I mean, he will still close down, but it won't be as much as he can. So it's very important for him and to overtake Indic, first of all, at the right place, because if he manages him to overtake now and Indic gets a DRS on him, I really don't think Indic is going to hold back and not overtake him. But Shah doing the smart thing and staying behind him, and he'll have the DRS.
Detection zone.
I think, Shah will have the DRS. So it will be a very straightforward.
The next overtake should be easy for him because it's his teammate. So what's interesting right now is Thakurva's just gone into the pits. He's just going to start his pit stop. Can Shah actually make this work right now? He's coming up to the hairpin. Has Thakurva started exiting the pits? Yes, he has.
This is going to be very, very close. Shah taking the final corner. He is now on the main straight. Thakurva is on the move, and so is the Mercedes. No, where's the other guy? Yeah. Anyways, Thakurva is there. Where is Thakurva? He's managed to jump him by quite a margin here. I think that DRS really helped him there, but even then, I don't think. I think even without that, he would have jumped him. But look at the gap, almost 2.5 seconds. He was 2.5 behind him, so 4 seconds advantage is what he has gained by pitting a lap early.
Shah would have saved a lot of battery as well, because he'd have realized that the strategy was to go for the soft tires. So once you realize that, I think he would have been driving a bit of battery conservation as well. So
Uh,
right now, as things stand, Yash Gosalia is our leader, and but he also has the pit, so he's also going to go on the softs. How long does he leave himself though? Because he needs to leave himself with enough time to get overtakes done.
yeah, that's
This is
that. Yeah, that's
it's
true.
either
Yash
this lap or the
Gosalia
next.
will be losing the lead, that's for sure. But can he drive all the way back up to the podium? That looks very challenging. What, speaking of challenging, is Shah is around 12 and a half seconds behind, or rather under 12 and a half seconds now to SSN. So he is closing down the gap. He has closed around 2 seconds so far from the start of this lap. So this is going to, Yash is in the pits. So this could go all the way down to the wire. Shah will definitely catch up to Vintage, so he will take P5 away from him. But he's further 8.5 seconds down on Bullister, so that
Oh,
should be
did
interesting.
SSN make a mistake or something? Because Sid is now in his DRS window, or is SSN trying to play this really smart and keeping Sid in his DRS window so that Shah struggles to get both of them?
I think SSN must have made a mistake. I think I think he knows that Sid is in the shout or in the hunt for the title. I don't think he would jeopardize his
No,
position.
but
Uh,
if let's just say if I am SSN and I knew that, for lack of a better term, jeopardizing my race, I'd rather lose to Sid than to Shah. It's a kind of that kind of a scenario.
I mean, better to try to seal the championship right now than to. So what was it? I mean, he needed how many points? 33, 50. I think around 18 points advantage.
Oh,
SSN. Oh, someone crashed.
you can beat me. You can beat me just one. I don't know what happened there. I think you might have made contact with Indic Gamer. I'm not sure about that.
And he is
I
on
thought
the
that was
fresh set
Yash
of softs.
Gosalia for a second there because I just saw the mark and I was like, is that Yash?
Imagine Yash losing. But anyways, Malav did make his pit stop, so he just spun on the fresh set of softs. And there's another. Has Indic Gamer spun? Yes, I think that's Indic Gamer who is lost the back end. No safety car, please. No, it's not. So good.
Shah, meanwhile, gets past Vintage Player as well. So now it's clear air for him all over again, all the way up till Bulister, who's in the pole.
8.9 seconds. So SSN has really messed up the last lap. 8.5 seconds now. So I think he's caught up what, around 5 seconds on this lap, which is not possible
Yes.
judging by the pace of both of them, and the tire advantage that Shah has. 5 seconds is not what you close in a lap. But anyways, this is going to get really close now. Shah is 6.5 seconds behind Bullister and closing. And Bullister, meanwhile, is right on Sid's tail. So top three are very close together. SSN is starting to pull out, or pull away rather, a bit of a gap from Sid. So it's all to play for here.
I mean, if I'm Sid, I'm gonna have to try to push as hard as possible to get into the DRS window of SSN if I want that if I still want to keep that P2. Because right now, what's gonna happen is Bulister might end up challenging Sid because he's in his DRS window, and both of them fighting could benefit Shah massively right now. So we'll see how this plays out. Still 5 laps to go in the race.
Yeah, anything 4 laps.
This
Yeah.
Oh, Thakur and Vintage Player just making contact. That was a very, very aggressive overtake right there that Thakur tried on Vintage Player.
Yeah, and there will be a lot of gravel on Vintage Player's tire, and he's already on the hard, so it's not going to help him one bit. Meanwhile, top two drivers have both gained 9 positions, so not a bad place to start from. P10 and P11 for both of them. And with Shah down in P4, and who is closing, by the way, this looks really good for the top two runners at the moment.
I don't think Shah's closing in fast enough. He didn't cut enough time in the last lap. So, gonna be extremely. I think it's give or take. If the only thing SSN has to do right now is not make a mistake, not even a half spin. Or
Vintage
Player's
Player,
retirement session.
no, the final corner, he crashed in the final corner. So he
Is
becomes
this a
a.
safety car? If this is a safety car right now,
It shouldn't be. For the sake of racing, it shouldn't be. I don't think it will be. It's too late to have a safety car out. But yeah, Bullister is still behind Sid. So even while being on the mediums, he's not able to overtake Sid. So Sid is really doing well and doing a bit of a service for SSN, who's the championship leader as things stand, or as things are. who will further improve his chances and his grip on the drivers title this season.
I mean, SSN, if it were, I mean, either if Shah wins or SSN wins, either ways, they both won with a gamble on the strategy. Shah gambled going long, SSN just pit as soon as possible. So right now it's just a battle of seeing whose strategy was better, right? And I don't think Shah's catching up enough. I think the soft tires are now burning out as we speak.
Yeah, he has done 4 laps, if I'm not wrong. Shah.
Yeah, he's done 4.
Where is that tire graphic, man? Oh, it's here. Yeah, Shah has done 3, so this will be his 4th lap for sure. The fastest lap belongs to Yash, so it's not even Shah who has the fastest lap. But anyway, Shah is closing, but like you said, he's not closing quick enough. So definitely, softs are way past their prime. Sid, meanwhile, is still holding on to that P2. Bullis are not able to find that launch of the corner before the long back straight, and that's happy news for Sid, as he will take yet another podium. So a lot of podiums for Sid, if I can say that, this season.
I mean, Sid is the most. Sid gets the most unexpected of podiums.
That's true. I mean, if it's because of the safety car or how the crazy the race was, if it's not that, then he gets it after the post-race penalties. But anyways, it's nothing that he can do about it.
Shah has caught up to the front to third and second right now, but obviously they're gonna have DRS. So this move, it might be a little bit of a lick the stamp and send it kind of moment for Shah right now.
Yeah, and I will bring to your notice that Shah is bringing along Thakurva and Yash with him, so it's quite close, all within the DRS. Shah, Thakurva, Yash, all within the DRS of each other. So it's going to get very tricky for Bulisser, because Bulisser has to, for Sid's sake at least, Bulisser has to act like a roadblock for these drivers behind him. As Yash Gosal is looking for the move on Thakurva. Thakurva is out of ERS. He's going for the late break. Thakurva giving him all the space, which is fair, and don't think Yash will get a better exit, but they're still side by side.
Thakurva just got a better run there, so that was
and he was
by Thakurva.
He was on the inside, so yeah, going on the move there was never in question anyways. But Shah, so you can see it's a 5 car? Yeah, it's a 5-car train for all for P2. None of them have any penalty, so everything for play for. Bulisser has managed to overtake Sid Venkatesh, and now it's Sid's duty to act as a roadblock for all these soft runners.
I think the winner has run out now because of the battle that's gonna happen. So
Absolutely.
unless SSN spins or makes a mistake, it's his race to lose at this point.
Look at these 5 cars. You can put a blanket on all of them. They're so close together, and this is what the race has come down to after mixed strategies that we saw in the middle part of the race. And look at this, all 4. I mean, Bulisser is kind of pulling away from there, so Sid really now struggling on those hard set of tires. Bulisser will be hoping to pull away from that DRS, but Sid is now trying his best to stay within that zone and survive another day. But I don't think it's close enough. Thakurva on the inside of Shah takes the position away from him, and this should be easy for him. Yeah, taking advantage of that opportunity. He saw Shah was not in the right position to defend, and yeah, Thakurva said, "Thank you very much." Shah is boxed. Shah is boxed. What's happening? Oh yeah. And Sid decides to stay out of it and breaks a bit too early, and that allows Yash Gosali to go on the outside of it, and Sid has lost 3 positions on one straight. From P2, he's now down in P6 in the space of 1 lap, and Shah is on under defense. Yash Gosalia will have the inside on for the turn 1, and this should end well, hopefully for all of them. And yeah, Shah has to concede this. So Yash Gosalia is on the charge. He's showing his pace. Bulisser now is, I think he's a sitting duck now.
I mean, it definitely looks like that. I still think P2 and P3 could change at any moment. That's how close, that's how fast the soft tire runners are looking right now.
Oh, a bit of a tap.
I think Thakur's gonna attempt it on the straight. There's no point in overtaking before it. He's extremely close to Bulister. I think he's done it. Unless he makes a mistake on some exit.
With the final lap this is, and what a race we've had so far. We still don't know who our podium finishers will be, as the Mercedes almost getting a tank slapper, going too fast on the curves. But Bullister, he really have to push. Yash Gosalia looking for the perfect launch of this long right-hander, which I don't think he's managed to do. But no, he has actually. He's gone wide and now he's just cut back wide. Thakurwa, now, Bullister is out of his ERS. Is Thakurwa? No, Thakurwa has a lot of it now. He's out of it as well. But should be a very easy move for P2 for Thakurwa. SSN about to go to the final corner. He's taking the hairpin, but 3 wide into the hairpin. There's a bit of a contact. Not a bit, but a lot of contact. He's getting pushed wide. Can anyone take advantage? Shah from P4. Can he stick it on the outside? 3 wide in the final corner. No one has spun, thankfully, and I think Shah will miss the podium just but Thakurwa, P2, Bullister P3, Shah P4. Yash Gosalia has lost a lot. He's down in P7, so a lot happened on that hairpin. Mercedes driver down into P8 from what looks like that he might finish P2. But what an end we've had. SSN, I apologize, we've totally missed SSN because of the finish time, but such was a battle for the P2 at the back. Well done to SSN on finishing on the top step of the podium once again. Thakurwa P2 and Bullister rounding off the podium, Jin.
I mean, I got 2 out of my 3 podium predictions correct, so.
Did I get any right? I don't know. I don't think I named SSN, but yeah, Thakurwa is right there. But what a race we've had so far. Suraj is down in P14. Who's our last points finisher? That will be Abdul Samad.
Abdul Samad. So
yeah, Abdul Samad is showing pretty good pace to finish in the points.
But he'll lose the last point scoring position because he reset on track.
Well, I mean, provisionally he is P12.
It says Yash Gosalia got a 20-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flag. I don't know what that's about. The game just...
Oh, it could be that when the 3 cars went off the track, I think that showed yellow and he must have just... oh, Suraj spun? No, I just saw yellow and I thought, what's happening, and then saw. Okay, at this rate, Suraj could get disqualified. And that will be quite embarrassing. Do not get disqualified. Okay, you think he'll be disqualified?
I think he's just going to make the timer run out at this rate.
Someone has given up. He's left the session. Okay, I think he just crossed the line. He's getting lapped by the cars who have finished the line. Come on, that's over the line. Come on, game, just end this. Finally. What a race. What a race, what a mixed bag. I mean, mixed bag in the sense from where the people started, without the rain as well. I mean, we were expecting rain to throw in an interesting result, but it was all done without the rain. And great race. What do you think?
I mean, these kinds of races are always a brilliant thing where you don't know till the last lap who's gonna be on the podium and who's not. I think for SSN, getting the overtake done on Sid was the most important because I felt like he was saving his tires a lot and it paid off for him as well. So, 2 kinds of strategy gambles seen tonight. One obviously seemed to work because the other people just got into a battle and then you know how it goes from there.
But yeah, that was quite an end. And I can see Yash Gosalia did get 20 seconds for ignoring the yellow flags. His only warning in the game. We'll have to wait and see what is that all about. So if you can just invite our podium sitters, we'll have a quick chat with them.
I shall. I don't think I have Bullister though, but I mean, it should let me send an invite nevertheless.
Right, so let's wait for SS and Bullister to join in. We'll have
I just
quick
sent
chat.
Bullister an invite. I'm gonna send SSN and Thakur.
Look at the gap between P2 to P4 within half a second of each other. So that how close, how much close it was.
We're driving like we are in PSGL right now.
I mean, it could have ended bad, but thankfully it didn't for anyone, and we got a really good end to that race.
I've
right.
invited Thakur as well. Could you send an invite to SSN? He's not on my...
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, I'm still not used to this console, but Let's see. How do you invite players? Add players. Okay.
Radio check.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. Audible. Who is this Ballista?
Yeah. No, it's Takaru.
It's Thakurva. All right. Let's just wait for her. I think SS is in the party. I just ensure that your mics are set to share audio, so we can.
Yep.
SSN, can you hear us?
Yep.
And the stream if they can let us know that if all the drivers are audible. Right, so we'll start quickly. I don't have much time. I have to be elsewhere as well. So Ballista, will start with you. Starting P8, you were the only one in the top 6 to do a two-stopper. And for the final stages of the race, you were behind Sid Venkatesh, and there were angry soft runners coming right, closing in very quickly behind you. What was going on in your mind at that point?
I was only nervous about the revving damage I got from the initial lap.
Oh, you had a damage, okay.
Yeah, and then due to some racing incidents, I had to pit for a wing change. And as soon as I got my last kill of mediums, I was like, I'll take it in the end. Let people come, it's okay, I'll defend it, no problem. And it turned out for the best.
Yeah, it definitely did, but it wasn't very comfortable. I mean, you were 4 tenths behind P2 and under a tenth in front of Shah, so you could have lost that podium. But how nervous was that final sector of that final lap?
It was, I actually got sandwiched for a moment, but just stayed in my favor. And luckily I didn't get any damage. I was like, CRF, let's just get this shit done.
Get this shit done, and you did. So that was quite well done. So congratulations, Ballista. Any questions from you, Jin?
Not really. I mean, I'm just like worn out after watching the final lap, so
Yeah,
I don't really have any questions. But that was a mega drive, Ballista. Good defense on the last. Just did enough to stay and get a podium. So congratulations on the podium.
Right, so let's move on to Thakurva, our P2. Hello, Thakurva. Congratulations on getting back-to-back podiums. Not a back-to-back win, but I think you're showing good pace and good form. So tell us about it.
So, I mean, of course, it's sort of disappointed because we could have won the race. In fact, like last few laps after I boxed, I realized I made a huge strategy blunder and I was like, abhi to podium bhi bhul jao. But then things worked out at the end. I mean, I caught up to everyone. So it was decent. Like, honestly, the only good part about the race was that I could make up all the positions. And the overtakes in the last few laps, that was a lot of fun. So definitely good race, damage limitation, but disappointed that I couldn't win there. Congratulations, by the way, SSN for that drive. Absolutely mega.
Yeah, you also managed to place your car at the right place on that final hairpin on the final lap. I think that helped you a bit to secure that P2. But yeah, it was a very impressive race, and I think after winning the last race P2 here. You think, I mean, you are in a good run of form, but you think you can score maybe one more victory by the time season ends?
I mean, definitely, touch wood, we've been on good form. So, yeah, I plan to take it forward every race after and end the season on a good note, because obviously we didn't have the best of starts. So, yeah, I mean, I hope for the best, I guess.
Okay, I don't think you understood my question. I just wanted to ask, is Abu Dhabi and Imola your strong tracks?
Actually, I don't have any strong tracks.
What is that?
I couldn't hear you for that.
Okay.
I don't have any strong tracks, to be honest. It's just, I guess, I mean, I put in the laps and we'll see how it goes. Because honestly, I haven't done even one lap of Abu Dhabi ever on this new game. So we'll have to check that out.
Oh, we are on the same boat in that sense. So, GG, Jin, anything to ask?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the safety cars helped, but was the strategy all along to go medium to softs, or did that change midway through the race?
I mean, the only problem with China is there are unlimited strategy options. So I was really just going by feel in the moment. So I mean, yeah, that was an option, but I guess I mean this just worked out. So I was contemplating. I was not really sure of the call I made, but yeah, and I don't think it was the right call either because Shah jumped ahead of me as well, boxed at the wrong time. And I feel like I should have taken advantage of the safety cars, but I failed to do that.
All right. Uh, Congratulations once again, Thakur, on your
Thank you.
P2. Excellent run of form so far. We move on to the race winner now. Caesar, would you like to start?
Well, congratulations, SSN, back on the podium after not scoring any points in the last race. So, congratulations. Your win after, I think, 6 races? We've gone winless?
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I think your last race came back in Japan, if I'm not wrong. But again, let's come back to the race. So let's start from quali. GG, you won. But let's start from quali. Seeing your closest championship rivals qualifying much higher than you did, what happened in quali?
It was quite bad. I mean,
For sure.
I spun twice, I think. I broke my wing both times. I wasn't able to get a good lap in after the first 8. So it was quite hectic, but it kind of worked out in the end, I guess.
You guess it did. So, just before I forget, I just throw a stat. So you became the second driver and back-to-back driver to win the race from P10. That's a stat for all the viewers. So V6 was the first one to win, but you just followed up the race after. But anyway, so yeah, just talk us through your race. You kept it clean, obviously. But with the safety car, 2 safety car interference, did that through any doubts that people might change to maybe a softer compound, or they might be at an advantage, whatever reason might be. I mean, run us through your race and all the way to the end.
Right. So the first safety car came out, I think, around lap 6 or so, and I was pretty sure, apart from Sid, no one else is going to pit because we're all on mediums. But the second safety car came out at the right time for all the medium runners, and I was quite shocked that no one in front pit other than Sweg. So we did double stack as well, and luckily that worked out perfectly for us. I came out right behind him. And unfortunately, I saw him and Manan battle a bit, and I think he broke his front wing, so he had to pit again. Otherwise, this would have been a very easy 1-2 for McLaren, the first one. Really hoping that would work out. But yeah, in the end, I'm guessing that everyone ahead was just waiting for the third safety car. But luckily that didn't happen. So
yeah,
it worked out in the end.
It definitely did work out. So congratulations on scoring yet another victory in the season and firming your grip on the driver's title even more. But it's not over yet, so nothing to relax as of now. Jin, anything to ask?
Not really. I mean, I just commented that once he got the move on Sid Venkatesh done, all he had to do was pull away from that, and then it was brilliant race management to just finish the race the way it is. So, I mean, all in all, a good drive by all the podium sitters involved. Thank you for the action that you provided towards the end. That was something really worthwhile to watch. So, yeah, that's it from my side.
All right, so
quite interesting because a bunch of us were on the same party chat. There were quite a lot of expletives going on.
I wasn't invited. What is this?
Right, so we can have this chat after the stream. So let's end the stream. So this has been it, Chinese Grand Prix. What an expected replacement track that we had for Jeddah. And China did not disappoint, so we were glad to be here. So see us tomorrow around the same time for Division 1 race, which I'm sure will be another one of a cracker. There's a title fight going on there as well, so don't forget to tune in. And yeah, this has been Caesar bringing all the action along with Jin. So thank you, Jin, for joining me.
You're welcome, Caesar.
And we'll see you within 24 hours again. Until next time, it's good night.